Welcome back to my West Ham United FM14 career, which is just sort of in the form of update videos. This is the second update, so make sure you watch the first one just so you get some context as to where I am. I've currently just finished the 4th season, but before we crack on with this video, I'd just like to draw your attention to my new YouTube channel banner at the top here. It's pretty snazzy, produced by Play FM. So make sure you check him out. His channel's in the description below, and his Twitter as well. So if you need anything, any graphics, any thumbnails for videos, or Twitter or Facebook or whatever, check him out. He's done a really good job. I'm very pleased with this. And also give him a sub. He's just started making videos as well. So I'd highly recommend seeing what he does. So I've also bought a new microphone. That's why I haven't uploaded a video for a week or so, because my old one broke, and I've decided to invest in a really good one. It's a Blue Yeti. You may have heard of them. People into recording and videos and that sort of thing may know about them. It was pretty expensive, but it's well worth it. It's a sound investment, I think, and I'll put the link to the Amazon page for it in the description below as well. So if you fancy buying one, you can do, if you've got a bit of spare cash hanging around. But hopefully it'll be nice crystal clear sound for you. So, this is West Ham. I finished 10th in the league, which is not great really, considering I finished 2nd last season, if we just go to the Premier League. So we finished all the way down there. Poor season in the league, but you can see this little symbol here, meaning I've qualified for the Champions League. For the simple reason, I somehow managed to win the Champions League, beating Marseille in the final. You'd probably think, oh, that's quite an easy final, but they had a really good team, and I beat them in extra time, in the last minute of extra time, thanks to Danny Ings coming off the bench. And it was a joyous moment for me. James Tompkins, man of the match. He's playing for England at the moment. He's been brilliant. So yeah, we did actually dominate shots wise. They had more possession. But Danny Ings, you hero, thank you so much for that. They had a good team, if you look at some of the players. So they did well to get to the final as well, just like we did, considering we finished 10th in the league. But that's what I tend to find, that I either do well in the Champions League or the league when I do qualify for Europe. And it tends to be Europe I find easier. I really struggle with league campaigns, and I have done for a while. Won the league with Spurs on this game, but that's the only league I've won so far in FM14. So this was my team. The goals were shared around between Wagner Love and Danny Ings mainly from the strikers. Jesse on loan from Chelsea got a few. Liech scored a few, got quite a few assists, but I mean obviously league wise we were poor and we did struggle from time to time, but Wagner Love was brilliant in Europe. Average rating wise, James Tompkins was top and Reed was 2nd, but not brilliant average ratings. The league really did let us down. So these were my transfers. In the summer I brought in a few players. Jesse on loan from Chelsea, Ivanovic for a measly fee, 1.3 million, getting on a bit, but I thought I'd do a very good job at the back. Cardozo up front, who was a real disappointment, scored a couple of goals, and I've ended up selling him onto another team. Liech from Roma for 11 million, a lot of money but quality player. Wagner Love for free, who ended up being top scorer. And then Joe Ledley came in on loan as well. And then in January I needed to just boost my team with a bit of fresh blood. I was doing poor in the league. And Nasri, Contrao and Cerna came in. Obviously 35 years old, but he is still brilliant. Look at those attributes for a 35-year-old, very impressive. So Contrao and Nasri are only on loan. And these were the players going out, a lot of players going out on loan. I sold Will Keane because he was a bit of a disappointment in the 3rd season. Robbie Brady didn't really have a role at the club, so I sold him on. Thorgan Hazard went out on loan as he was really disappointed in 3rd season. So that's what happened. I also sold Lafondra and Hooper, which I think I told you in the last video. So, tactics, you probably want to know what I did and what I did right in the Champions League, what I did wrong in the league. This is what I went for the second half of the season. I struggled testing things out, trying different things out, and this really worked in the Champions League. Obviously it didn't work very well in the league, but for some reason this was very effective in the Champions League, and I won it, of course, with that formation. Beating the likes of Bayern Munich in the semis, Dortmund in the first knockout round, Benfica in the quarters. So yeah, very successful, but it just didn't work in the league, and that's the real disappointment. But it doesn't matter too much, as I did, of course, get qualified for the Champions League by winning it. It's quite funny, really, because I had to play Tom Kearney at left wing back in the final because my usual Veergiver, my Dutch left back, was out injured. No, suspended, sorry. And of Contrao was cup tied, as he'd played for PSG in the Champions League. Anyway, that's the end of the 4th season. Now, some of you will probably be quite disappointed to find out that I have moved to Stoke, that I left West Ham in the 5th season. I've currently got to the end of the January transfer window with Stoke. But first of all, I'll just tell you why I left West Ham, who are actually higher than me in the table at the moment. But I really started to struggle at the start of the season. I made some really good signings, but I wasn't happy with the balance of the squad. Players I brought in, I mean, I spent too much on Medel, who's a great defensive midfielder, but he's 30 years old, and 10 million is quite a bit. Micha was a good signing for 2 million. Bonny, very good for 10 million, but he struggled to start with. I just couldn't get him to score. Brought in Alberto as a left back. He's pretty decent. This guy's the best signing. Incredible regen. 27 million, well spent on him. He's just unbelievably good. I signed this guy, centre back, basically replacing Winston Reid, who I sold. He wanted to leave, and I thought there's no point keeping a player that really wants to leave. I don't know why he wanted to leave. We're European champions, but anyway, I sold him to Dynamo Kiev for 4.1 million. Also sold Veergiver. Well, very tidy profit. I got him for free, so selling him on for 8 million was pretty good. Also sold Hazard because he was useless, unfortunately. And Cardozo went, like I said. But yeah, struggled so bad at the start. If you look at the fixtures, nothing was working tactics-wise. Even in the Champions League, I struggled against Basel, and eventually did leave. I can't even remember. I think it was around Everton-Newcastle game I left, and I went to Stoke. They gave me such a good offer. They gave me 50 million to spend, which obviously would be in January, and a 2 million transfer budget, and they were currently only spending 1 million. So I just changed the transfer budget and brought in a ton of players in January. Look at some brilliant players. Look at all those signings were obviously the previous manager, but from here on I brought Januzaj, and United didn't want him anymore, really cheap. James McCarthy, great box-to-box midfielder from Everton. Giroud, really cheap because they didn't want him, and he's getting on a bit. Insua, great left back, 5.5 million. This young defender, Lionel Dennis, who's one for the future, really. Probably spent a bit too much on him, but we'll see how he develops. Rondon for 11.75 million, what a striker he is. Carlos Vieira, who's developed brilliantly on my save, look at that. 7 million for him, bargain. 3.4 million for Rodriguez, simply because his contract was up in the summer. Some might say, why have you paid when you could just wait and get him for free? But he'd probably go to a different club. Why would he go to Stoke in the summer? So somehow I managed to get him because I had so much money to spend. And Douglas Costa for 20 million. As well as on top of the 50 million they already gave me, I did actually sell, where is he? Will Hughes, 32.5 million. They'd bought him, cracking player, but I thought, how can I reject that much? I can just redevelop this squad from top to bottom. Sold a few fringe players as well, and completely changed the side. If you look at my team, I just love the team I have. I really think I can challenge. I think in the summer I will improve the defence, because it's not the greatest. Shawcross is great. Solly's a good right back, but probably could do better, and I could do much better than Huth. But other than that, the team's brilliant. And Nzonzi, McCarthy, Douglas Costa, Rodriguez, Gokentor, Rondon, Vieira. I mean, the bench is strong. I've got Martin Olsen as backup left back. Oh, it's fantastic, and I really really love this team, and that's the tactic I've gone for. It's quite attacking, but we're through to the 5th round of the Cup, I think, so I really think I can do something in the Cup. League, probably won't be able to push for Europe, but we can get top 10, I think. Maybe make the Europa League places. We shall see. So the next update video will be my Stoke game. If I win something, then I'll update you at the end of the season. If not, it'll be in the future sometime. But I'm really enjoying this save. Some of you will be disappointed I've left West Ham. I did save it though. If I fancy going back to West Ham, I will, and I'll carry it on from that point. I was just struggling, and I thought this Stoke offer was just so good and just came at the right time. So yeah, hope you're looking forward to this. I've got a brilliant team. It's not a typical Stoke team. Lots of skillful wingers and great strikers there, so really looking forward to this, and I hope you are too. So please leave a like on this video and a comment if you fancy asking me any questions. Ask me on Twitter, and I'll try and reply as best I can. See you guys.